Welcome everybody. My name is Emma Prema Grace and I'm here today to welcome you to our Heart of Living Yoga video and to introduce you to Andyara. And this is Andyara beside us. Welcome, Andyara.
Hello,
everyone. What we're going to do today is tell you about Heart of Living Yoga and the projects in Brazil that we're supporting and that particularly you've all been donating to, so we thank you for that. As you may be aware, Heart of Living Yoga is an educational charity working with some of the poorest children in the world. And our main aim is always to support children through improved education so that they are able to get better jobs and support themselves, their families and their communities. And we also want them to be able to access their history, their traditions, their tribal wisdom, through all the current challenges that are happening to Indigenous peoples. However, with COVID that is running very rampant in Brazil at the moment, we have moved to providing food as an emergency project to keep children alive. And that's happening in two main areas, which Andyara is going to tell us about. We fundraise for projects through running yoga classes, our online shop, which is at heartoflivingyoga.com, and we'll tell you that later. You can just Google it online. And we also fund from the kind and generous donations that you, our supporters, make. And we hope that you'll be moved to do some of your Christmas shopping at Heart of Living Yoga this year, as you see what the money's being spent on. Or come along and join one of our amazing courses. We'd love to see you on them. And I now want to introduce Andyara. And Andyara is our English liaison with Brazilian projects. She is a Heart of Living Yoga teacher who grew up in Brazil, but has made Bournemouth for them the base for her yoga and sound healing practice. And in 2018, she organised a pre-COVID trip to Brazil, which I was fortunate enough to go on. And she's continued to supervise and liaise with the two projects that Heart of Living Yoga is working with currently in Brazil. So, Andyara, do you want to add anything about the charity?
Oh, yes, Emma Prema. Thank you first for having me here, explaining our projects in Brazil and how it's working there. It's a very special day today. Just yesterday, we received a few pictures that we're going to be sharing with you here from the children there. So as Heart of Living Yoga is a small charity, we are working together with some local partners in Brazil, people that came along and that we have met by grace. But they are very, very special hearts, special people, very trustworthy, engaging themselves in doing the good for most of the people we can help. So how Heart of Living Yoga is earning money from the activities, as Emma Prema just mentioned, through our shop and meditations and courses. So we are using part of this money to help some communities in Sri Lanka for quite a few years. And since 2018, we've started to support two areas in Brazil too. So we're helping them to have a good education, improve their education, the education they are having in small, poor areas. And during this COVID time, as Emma Prema already mentioned, we are also supporting them with food supplies, so making sure they are healthy and alive, because without the belly full, they can't learn. So that's what Heart of Living Yoga is doing at the moment there.
Fantastic. So I wonder if we can start by looking at the project on the outskirts of Manaus.
Oh,
I know when I went to Manaus, I was very surprised because I think I was expecting a sort of tribal backwater and this very narrow river, and didn't really expect city of 2.5 million people. And this huge wide river, well, several rivers, I mean, just huge rivers with, boats that have come from the sea thousands of miles away. So perhaps you can tell us about the Indigenous Lives Matter project.
Yes, yes. So Manaus is a very, very big city in the middle of the jungle. So when we arrive there flying, you can see this ocean of green trees all over and this large river. But as soon as the plane comes down, you realize that you are actually in a very big city. And this city has been growing and developed also with the English background. So you can see on the port, for example, the structure and the architecture, it is English. The material has come from England too. I'm not gonna go much into the historical details as I'm not that good on that either. So, but the main thing is the city has been growing and growing and growing and growing towards areas where before was the home for many native indigenous tribes. And the area we visited that it calls Tarumã. It is an area, very poor area, close to the river. And this community particularly, it calls Parque das Tribos in Manaus. So they've been suffering a lot during 2020 with the pandemic, and the COVID-19 is spreading all over in the beginning of the year principally. And Parque das Tribos has been very affected. They were losing lots of family members and friends. And as you know, when you have a main person that works and provides for a family, and they go missing, everything gets so out of the structure to keep providing for their families and the children. So they've lost many of these providers for these families there. So Heart of, and of course, probably many of you already know that the support from the government in Brazil doesn't happen on the way that happens here in Europe. So it's a very little thing that sometimes comes through, but for indigenous community, it doesn't come a lot. It's not where they are thinking, where they have their mind settled to help at the moment. So we did organize a way of providing them with food and a few books to make sure they were carrying on reading right in the beginning of the year. And that the legislation has changed a lot in Brazil. We had a very difficult time to get this money arriving there for them. So we had the banks and the transactions going very weird in the beginning of the year. We thought, oh my Lord, we're not going to be able to support these people at this hard time. How would be that possible? We have the money, we have people that wants to help, we have hands and volunteers there to help, we have food there to be bought, and the transactions were very hard to get through. So, but we Ana Carolina and Luis Armando, they are from Floresta Zen and has been supporting this project with Professora Claudia in Parque dos Tribos School. So they've tried, and by themselves they couldn't do much. We needed a larger foundation behind us to receive our money there and be able to then give the right destiny to this money. So we had the support of this amazing singer. She calls Marcia Novo. I haven't met her personally myself yet. I'm so grateful about her existence there because she opened this project that called Indigenous Lives Matter, and that support lots of tribes in Amazon, in Manaus principally. So she embraces us too. She's a very good friend with this teacher, Professora Claudia, that we support there, and opened the doors from a big foundation that calls Amazônia Sustentável. And Amazônia Sustentável were able to receive our help. And as they are a large foundation, they also could find the best and cheapest ways to get the food sorted and getting all the amount of food that we needed to supply for them for 2 months, at least now at the beginning. And also we did organize to get them printer for the school, data projector to be showing, as they cannot go anywhere at the moment to have this class, so it can be sliding shows going on at their little school. It's gonna arrive next week, so we still don't have pictures of that, but it's coming. And a sewing machine that they will be using to sewing masks, as well as menstrual pads for the women, because as the community has grown, they went into this new way with this not biodegradable pads. So they want to go back in their tradition of them using cloth pads, what's fantastic, and we are helping and supporting on that way too. So their environment can carry on being clean, because as Prema saw there, probably all this growth of this big, huge city has been causing lots of damages in the water. In the recent days, they are in this tribe particularly, the clean waters has been provided by truck, so they couldn't access that easily. So it's many needs in Brazil. At the moment with the COVID, and Heart of Living Yoga is managing to find its way to help them with the partnership with Amazônia Sustentável, Fundação Amazônia Sustentável, and Indigenous Lives Matter.
Fantastic. And I mean, I remember visiting the school project, and when we left and we bought a computer for them. And I think we've got some pictures of the outdoor classroom.
Yes, I can show you that to you. This, when we did visit there, that was very impressive for all of us to see that they were preserving the native languages of 35 different ethnies that has been combined. So this teacher is not just teaching the normal educational side, but she's keeping alive the traditions from these tribes, as well as information from the plants in Amazon, from the animals around, and the keeping it alive. And the computer has helped her a lot to carry on doing her work. So we're gonna go here and try to share and show you some of the pictures of it. So yes, so here is a picture from when we've been there the first time in 2018. Down here you can see Luis Armando with the children there. They were singing and the native sounds to us. They were dancing, showing us how they want to carry this connection with the nature alive through sound and music. And they wanted to just to show how they learn and what they do. So it was very beautiful. By this time, the school was all open, as you can see on the pictures. And yeah, we didn't have delivered yet the computer by this time. We were just finding what were their needs and helping by buying their handmade jewelry. That's very simple, but it's just so beautiful, and a craft with such a care that makes us very impressive. So this following picture actually was yesterday. So these bags you can see, and all the smile on children's face. They were there waiting for our family to come along to receive the food supply for the first month. And so they were so happy. They've been sending videos all day long thanking us for that. That was like magical for them and made us very tearful receiving it, seeing how important is our support at this time for them. So there in the middle, you can see their teacher. Between the two guys in mask, you can see the teacher, Claudia. Yes, here's one of the volunteers from the Indigenous Lives Matter. He's using the mask from Indigenous Lives Matter project and getting all the name of the children organizing, make sure everyone's gonna receive your pack. You can see a children here on the side looking to a book already. So this is very beautiful. And that's their faces when they were already putting their hands on this food. And you can see down there, it wasn't just food. They got some hygiene products provided too, a soap, hand sanitizer, trying to keep them as healthy as we can at this moment. There is people, as you can see, you probably haven't seen yet. So they closed the school now, so it's not raining inside anymore. As you could see in the rainforest, the rain is such a normal thing. So, but they did manage to close, of course, with the material that has been donated by other people, other local people has been supporting and getting them out of the rain. You can see the family also there with their pack. So it's very make our heart sing. And even today, I did read a message from Swami Shivananda calendar that says, and I think that's quite important to say here, because he used to say, never says I've helped that man. Feel and think that man gave me the opportunity to serve. And I believe that's what life is doing through us, serving more and more people and children too. So that's our beautiful project there in Amazon at the moment in Manaus.
Definitely, we always try and work with projects where we've met the people and we've seen for ourselves the need and that we've met people. And it's a kind of grace, I think, that happens, that the right people come up. And I remember when we were there meeting this lovely girl, gosh, what's her name? Who, Jennifer, who had
Jennifer,
started her own
that was
library project
Chapada, yes.
and being so moved going to her house, and the poverty that existed in the house was really quite incredible. And she was still doing this wonderful work for other people and creating a library out of nothing. And I know we've helped her a little bit as well. Anyway, so people can see where the money that's being donated is going to. And I think we're going to be doing something for Christmas there, are we?
Yes. So Padma David spoke with all the trustees, and we will be providing them special food and some gifts for Christmas. So we're looking forward to make it all happen now, hoping it's gonna get in time there for Christmas. But now with the open doors of Amazonia Sustentável Foundation, that is much easier for us to provide and support.
And can you tell us something about the covered outdoor space, which is going to extend the teaching facilities on the other
Yes,
side of the
so
river?
that's the project from Indigenous Lives Matter. That is is an area for educational projects too. So they normally have these big bungalows, this very big extent, where they do their rituals, where they handcraft all the these handmade jewelries and other many things, drums, for sale for tourists, as well as to teach the children. So the dances, the songs, how to praise their gods. No, they have lots. The sun god. They did. Some of the tribes did show us when we've been there how beautiful it is. So one of the areas, apparently the rain or the wind has been covering it all. So we are trying to get it all organized and making sure how would cost to cover it again because it rains a lot in rainforest. So we will see how does that gonna be, and if we can support, we will definitely gonna do that too.
Fabulous. So can you tell us about Chapada Solidaria, which is
Yes.
working in the middle of Brazil
Yes.
now? Tell us about the Chapada.
So Chapada is in the center of Brazil. Chapada dos Veadeiros is a very special area. It's our savanna in Brazil. So from the rainforest, we're going to talk about a different area, savanna. So we've been there to. So Heart of Living Yoga had the opportunity to meet few projects that our main head and heart there, even Denise, helped us and took us through. So we, as Anna Prima already mentioned, we did support this girl of 13 years old creating by herself this library for children to help the children from her school. And it is also very poor area, and they do not have access to many things there. Even the asphalt that doesn't arrive there. You cannot drive that easily in many of the places. And unfortunately, it is an area close to the capital, Brasilia, and where the soy farmers are expanding a lot. So these GMO soy plantations are just expanding over the savanna, what causes also damage to the local water, to the local farmer, the small familiar farmers, producers. So that was one of the things that we were concerning so much when we helped Ivan to come to England and been talking in many different areas in England to explain how this is not that helpful to go through the consumption of soy or even the biodiesel that we think that could be a good thing, but actually it's destroyed the environment there for them. And also we did visit a house for children that is Dona Romilda's orphanage and child care provider. And that was very hard moving. They are a couple, 60-year marriage that decided to marry to help children. So they dedicated their lives to help children, making sure they have food in their bellies, that they have a space to be when their parents need to go to work to provide for them. And even the children that doesn't have family, they also have this beautiful space of the orphanage to support them. They also produce through this organic way or biological way food in a small farm there to provide for their children. So that was a very special moment we all had there, meeting them and seeing that they also work from the heart. So the way that we've been engaging and led to these people was amazing in the first place. We were very synchronized with the same goal, that is to serve for goodness and from the heart, for love.
So tell us about the project we're supporting there now, because it's sort of running alongside the orphanage, I gather a bit. It's in the same area.
So we also, to continue to support there, we also needed this bigger partner there to receive our money and be able to deliver it to the project. So even did connect us with an institute that calls Caminho do Meio, where that works very closely with Chapada Solidaria. And this is amazing because Chapada Solidaria during this COVID crisis are getting the food from the local healthy producers and creating these packs of food to deliver to the ones that doesn't have any. So they've been providing, with all the help, not just ours, but the help of many other people, more than 30 tons of food supplying for local people there. So it was more than 1,000 families being supported by this project, and Heart of Living Yoga was part of it too. So we are making sure that the children principally are getting their bellies full and carry on with their educational projects. So one of the beautiful things is like some of the money has been directed to buy these organic seeds and created through in the public allotment a community garden. So they are just starting it now. It's right at the beginning, but they want to make sure that the abundance that we start providing for them is gonna carry on and continues and be as life is, no infinite abundance. So they are also organizing now to get the children there to learn more about permaculture, about the ways that we can respect the soil, the land, the water, making sure the seeds is going to be fed through what is natural, and is going to carry on providing generation after generation. So that's very, very special project in Chapada going on.
Have we got the pictures from the Chapada?
I do, yes, I do have pictures from there too. So let me share with you. Um, just a moment.
I know I was really very, very impressed with one of the people who's organizing this, Ivan, and it was lovely when he was looking to come to England last year, how just all the community of Heart of Living Yoga sort of stepped forward and offered him hospitality and contacts. And I mean, this was nothing really to do with the fundraising, but it he's gone on to be one of our main contacts there to help put us in touch with so many of the families that really, really need help.
He definitely is an amazing person. And just to bring a little bit more along that, he has been fighting all this wildfire that you probably saw on the TV.
Yeah, he's a
So
firefighter, isn't he? A voluntary firefighter. I mean,
he's the
incredible.
one that goes and put his face there, making sure that the fires not get wild and destroy all the environment.
Yeah.
So here is a big picture of the delivery of a pack of organic vegetables and fruits being delivered to one of them. Books and more packs of food, as well as you can see behind, there is also some supply of hygiene products too, oil and things. That is Ivan on that picture. So Eva has helped us to organize the volunteers to make sure it all would be packed nicely and would be delivered into the right place. They would be safe enough to do that during the pandemic. And here they are, the volunteers from Chapada Solidaria, organizing it all. Yes, beans, rice, paper, toilet paper. Here's the vegetables, organic, grow free from agrotoxics and all nasty things. Yes, one of the volunteers that went for delivering. That's a very elderly man there receiving his pack of food.
Wow.
Yes, we did receive these recent pictures from that, and we probably soon going to receive the pictures from the garden too. So once these seeds start to sprout from the earth, we're gonna receive more
Well,
from
I think
them.
we're going to get the children quite involved in the community garden and the growing and producing, and as they grow older, learning about the distribution.
Yes, and right now that is is a little bit difficult to take children around, so that you need to take them in very small groups, and need to get the authorizations for them to be circulating. So the Alto Paraíso itself was in lockdown for quite a long time, and now I believe they are not in lockdown, but it's still very restrictions, many restrictions going on. But soon
I
they will
know,
be there.
I know at Christmas we want to be bringing a little more light into the lives of some of these children who are so poor in the Amazon,
Yeah.
that we're providing gifts in the Chapada as well. And I think it's good to note that the schools have been closed all year in Brazil. So once they're reopened, we'll be finding out exactly what they need to help the children that we're supporting to continue their education.
Absolutely.
So I think really we just want to come together really now and thank all our supporters, and just thank you on the behalf of all the children that we're helping, not just in Brazil but also in Sri Lanka and other places. Um, we're going to be posting below in the notes, hopefully, details of the website. And if you've got a pen, you may want to jot it down, which is www.heartoflivingyoga.com. And that's all together with no spaces in, just all one word, Heart of Living Yoga. So, .com. And there you can donate. You can also purchase things that are for sale on the website. And all the money raised will be allocated to the projects we're supporting directly and through the grace of the heart, get where it's most needed. So I want to thank you, Andyara, for all that you're doing completely voluntarily to make these things happen, and for all you've shared about the projects. It's lovely to see your passion and enthusiasm, and I hope in the future other people will be able to do the wonderful trip that I was able to do with you, and go visit some of these places, because it is truly, I mean, the scenery is truly awe-inspiring, and the work that some of these people are doing in such poor situations is awe-inspiring. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for organizing this to allow us to show all the supporters what is happening in Brazil. Thank you for being this beautiful heart and kind that has been traveling with me and seeing this with your two eyes, feeling this through your heart. So yes, I look forward for many more people to come along when we can to visit this project and support in person, because it's so good to feel the heartwarming reception and welcoming us into their lives. So thank you so much, everyone. And I look forward to
So
share
much
more with you.
to everybody. Let's keep on keeping on. Bless you.